I can't believe I'm having to redo this for the second time again. But welcome back to the final round of the LBL. We did sprint, and then we had our 50% race, and yet again, just like in Mexico, my game crashed. And to be honest, if this is going to become a weekly occurrence, I am glad that this is the final race. You know, honestly, I really wanted it to go out on such a biblical ending. But it's just problem after problem. But anyway, enough whinging. That's not what you're here for. You're here for the most biblical league on the planet. We're back with what will hopefully be the final time we do this. As a matter of fact, it will be the final time we do this. We started halfway through. We currently have 11 races. It is Scott on par with Bames in second. Lights out and away we go as we get away for the second time in Brazil. Scott getting a great start as Bames stays in second into turn one. Alfie overtaking Formula as Formula now cuts the corner to re-overtake Alfie. We will be dishing out penalties for that at the end. Alfie remaining in fourth, Delirious in fifth. He was leading the race on the first lap of the last part. As Formula's put it in the wall, and Formula's DNF. By the looks of things, surely. What has happened? Formula is somehow still alive. We only have a yellow flag in sector one. If the commentary is really not up to scratch, I'm sorry. I was so deep in it the first half, and then obviously the DC came along, and it just really ruins the flow of things. You know, you've got a proper race on your hands, and then for some unknown reason, it just crashed. So now we're doing a 25% race. The last race isn't salvageable. We took the ending results of lap 18, which I wasn't even present for. I actually got DC'd around about lap 10. But anyway, on the end of the first lap, it is Scott in first, Bames in second, Alf third, our darling in third, holding it down. He wants that podium. Delirious in fourth, Grimes in fifth. He's back after a week holiday to the final races. Oh, Delirious was a little bit wide there after clipping the curb. And nearly takes Grimes out of the process. Good evasion there from Grimes. Delirious having losing that position now. Will sit in fifth. Jack in sixth. Our LBL champion Danny in seventh. The Alpine, they've won both championships. Danny and Scott, valiant effort all season for the constructors. And then obviously Danny at Kota, he clutched the LBL championship. He is our first ever championship. We have 3 people in the pits as Hydrix is in 8th just behind Danny. Hydrix on the soft wall tyres, so he'll be making his pit stop a little bit earlier, I would have thought, unless there was a safety car. 3 people in the pits. Jason Davies, JD making a return, back in the prancing horse like the good old days. And then Formula just coming out the pits after that early contact, which you saw him spin at turn 4. Could be curtains for him, could have a safety car, we don't know yet. If you're wondering why there's only 11 people, it's because the first part of this, there were DNFs, and it would be quite unfair to have those people come back in after the DNFs, and have another shot at racing again. It wouldn't be fair. That would be like Lewis Hamilton's car at Malaysia going on fire, restarting the race. It wouldn't happen. But anyway, we're on lap 3 now. Scott in first, Bames in second, trying to chase him down. We already have Grimes back into third as he oversteers a little bit, able to catch it. Our darling in fourth, just behind Grimes. Grimes and Alfie, they have a plan, and I know what that plan is. We will see if it comes into fruition at the end of this race. Fingers crossed it does, because I would love nothing more than in the true send-off to this LBL final for our darling to take home the checkered flag with him. Delirious in fifth. He's caught up a little bit after that early mistake on the exit of the centre S's, allowing Grimes to pass him. He's caught up a little bit to the back of the top 4 as Grimes already looking to make a move on Bames. We'll have DRS sliding in behind the Alpha Tauri, taking to the inside line in the slipstream. Both letterboxes are open for Bames and Grimes. The only difference is Grimes also setting the fastest lap. The only difference is Bames is currently flicking at the back. Scott still in first, although Bames fancies himself a shot now. He'll open ERS and DRS, giving it a good go. Not close enough to Scott, I don't think, to be able to make a dive bomb. Has a brief think about it, but unable to do so. Scott still in first, holding it down. The late lunge there, the poor cornering from Bames allowed Grimes to go alongside him. That's a beautiful move. If he's able to stick this, just goes off the track, has to concede the position. Although the switchback is beautiful into the middle sector. And Bames has spun. There might have been a little bit of contact between the two there. Bames has spun, which now has promoted Alfie into third, just behind Grimes, with Scott still in first. Bames in fourth. Delirious now, obviously after the spin there from Bames, is able to get to the back end of Bames. What is he thinking about doing here? Delirious was able to manage that ERS so much so far. Bames using his ERS to get as much of a boost out of the exit of the final corner as possible. But I'm not so sure if it will matter, because Delirious, he is coming on the charge now. He sees Bames blinking. ERS, DRS, all of it deployed. He's getting closer and closer. We'll stay on board for the DRS on lap 5 now. Lovely cornering there from Bames. Much better exit, although he has no ERS to play with. Surely this will be child's play for Delirious. Both of them opened up. Is he thinking about making the move? No, he will slot in behind, perhaps even cut down the gap even more so. Perhaps to a point where he can even overtake Bames before the end of lap 5. We will see. We'll stay on board with them just for a little bit now. Into the mid-sector. It's kind of where the gap opens up a little. This is a perfect place during the lap for you to recharge your ERS, get that little bit of boost you need while someone is trying to hunt you down just from behind. You can normally charge about 25-30% if you're very clever with your management and your recharge. Very nice indeed. But anyway, let's go back up front, as we have Grimes currently in second, just behind Scott. Scott is now blinking. Probably used all of his ERS. No, he is out of ERS. Grimes now promoted into the lead of the race. Only briefly though. Scott looks to go back. There is a switchback. Grimes going to go along the outside. Has to take off the track. Scott will have DRS and obviously gets the better exit now. He opens up his ERS. DRS alongside, going on the outside. Then we're going to turn 4. As Scott just goes in front of him, but he does make contact. He's forced wide by Grimes. Grimes allows Scott to go back and forth, back in front of him. Very nice sportsmanship there to realise there was a little bit of contact there, an unfair overtake. So kudos to Grimes. He wants to overtake Scott fairly. The man who is the runner-up of the LBL. He wants to go out with a bang. He wants to make a statement. He wants to say this title could have been mine. He wants to know that he has put an effort in all the way to the very end of the season. Still Scott in first. Grimes just behind. Look at the ERS management. Already a third of the way through this race. Still has 50% ERS. A little bit of ERS on the exit of the corner allows you to get that extra speed boost. The extra acceleration off the rip. The DRS open now. Scott is able to manage his ERS a lot better that time round. Grimes thinking about making the move up the inside into turn 1. Scott thinking about the switchback around the outside, double switchback maneuver. He will have DRS into lap 7 we go. This battle is beautiful. They are trading places non-stop. Scott will take to the inside, open up his ERS as well in the letterbox. Gets the move completed once again. Although Grimes does see that he is blinking, gets a much better exit out of turn 4. Scott will move defensive there. As now Grimes is in his slipstream. Into the middle sector we go. Grimes perhaps thinking about a move up the inside. He's going to go for the move up the inside on Scott. Lovely stuff indeed. Beautiful move there. A little bit of a love tap from Scott afterwards. These two fighting, going back and forth, has actually allowed the pack to get a little bit closer to them now, as we have Alfie in third. Grimes said to me a couple of weeks ago before one of the races, if he was in first and Alfie was in second, he would let Alfie win the race. And what better way to send off the season with a win for our darling. And Alfie also managing his ERS much better than Scott as well. I think Scott's had a mare with his ERS. DRS is open. Scott is blinking currently, although he does have his letterbox open as well. Closes it. Perhaps maybe thinking about making the move up. Grimes in the inside. He does as well indeed. Grimes just in front of Scott there. I do think Scott will have DRS. He does yet again. This has been a beautiful battle so far, as we are just under halfway into this race. They make a little bit of contact. Scott going up the inside of Grimes once again, and they will be side by side at the exit of turn 4. Lovely stuff. And look at this now. Alfie, he is really in the mix right now. This is for the lead of the race. All three of them within 3/10 of each other. But Scott has just gone into the back of Grimes, and Sky's DNF from the race. Grimes goes wide. And Alfie is currently leading this race in mental fashion. Scott has DNF from the race. Grimes has damage, I do believe. There is a safety car. It is about time you would come in anyway for your pit stops. And Alfie is leading this race. Currently Bames in second. Delirious in third. Grimes in fourth. Jack fifth. Danny sixth. Had a very quiet race from him so far. He's been battling away with high tricks since the start of the race. Jason in eighth. I've no clue what he's doing. Practicing his start-stopping like it's a driving test. Who knows? JD in ninth. Made a return. He's on the hards going all the way to the end, although I think he would come in, get on a different set of tyres. And then Formula, he is now in 10th. You see there, back there, Scott. Very unfortunate. Look at everybody coming into the pits. I'm sure everybody will come into the pits. Could this happen? Could we see Alfie win the last race of this LBL season? We're halfway through. Like I said before, everybody else is also coming into the pits. Formula's going to need to do some catching up if he wants to get the back. Alfie is leading this race. He is currently in first. I hope the nerves don't get to him. Approaching lap 10 as the safety car will be taking us around for another lap. Current order is Alfie first, Bames second, Delirious in third, also chasing his first podium of the season. Grimes in fourth, Danny fifth, Hytrix in sixth, Jack in seventh, Jason in eighth. Redemption man, you would love to get his redemption today. Grimes is just spat into the safety. In the safety car, Grimes is just spat. And then Formula in 10th. This is like the calm before the storm. This is calm before the storm. Get strapped in, get comfortable, because this is going to be a bumpy ride to the end. Alfie's internet is doing madness. We have 8 laps of racing. Surely the safety car's coming in this lap. The safety car is in this lap. For the first time this season, and probably the last, Alfie will restart the pack. Obviously you have to wait at a certain point to allow the safety car to get into the pits. As Jason Davey has just retired for the session, and JD has also had a 5-second penalty. Alfie's about to take it. And Alfie goes. This is the restart of the LBL, of the Brazil Grand Prix. The final race of the season was restart lap 11 as there's a yellow flag in sector 3. Jason Davies has unfortunately retired from the race. Jack got into the pits. As JD has also retired from the session as well. Straight after the safety car. We are down to 8 races now. It's still Alfie in first with Bames in second. As Bames has just put it in the wall and DNF. And Delirious is DNF'd as well! Oh my goodness! What is going on this race? We have Alfie in first. Beams and Delirious have both DNF'd. Alfie is currently in first. Hytrix in second. Grimes in third. Formula 4th. Jack in seventh. Well, he will obviously be promoted to fifth. And then Danny. We only have 6 races left. What a biblical ending to the LBL this is. And Danny's left the session as well. So he won't be racing anymore. We have 5 races. Unbelievable stuff. We have 7 laps left of this race as Alfie's going in the corner. What a biblical ending. Alfie's cleared by 2.5 seconds. Hytrix in second. Grimes alongside him as Hytrix just allows Grimes to go past. You see him break there a little bit. What a strange ending to a biblical season. 6 races. You can't help but laugh sometimes, honestly. So currently the order is Alfie in first, Grimes in second, Hytrix in third, Formula 4th, Jack 5th, and then Danny 6th, but he's left the session. Wow. And this means DRS has been enabled as well. This means now that the plan that Grimes and Alfie had all that time ago, Grimes said if he was ever in first and Alfie was in second, he would let Alfie win a race. All Alfie has to do is keep it on the track. Unless Grimes was maybe lying, maybe he's deceived us all. I can't believe this. This is just crazy. Well, Jason gets a point on his return as well. Jack's just retired from it. This is great. What an ending. We have 4 actual runners. We have 4 actual runners. Wow, lap 14 out of 18. Let's try and make the most out of this as we possibly can. Lap 14 out of 18. The order is Alfie, Grimes, Hytrix and Formula with Danny ghosted. He's not actually here, but he is still technically racing. Formula trying to chase down that podium. He came in as a late substitute for Jake Pig. Actually, he came in as a late substitution for Jason, but Jason came back because Young Demon was not available today. So, coming up towards the end of lap 14, DRS obviously was enabled a couple of laps ago. Formula will have DRS on Hytrix, but Hytrix does also have DRS. It's just a DRS train at this point. Alfie taking no concern whatsoever. He's just happy to be here on the podium. Grimes currently in first. He's just overtaken him. Alfie will get a shot back at him down the DRS straight as Grimes goes slow, allows Alfie to get right in front of him. I think at this point they're just having a bit of fun, a little bit of racing. In second, Hytrix potentially thinking about a move around the outside. Grimes probably going to just start defending big time and allow Alfie to clear away with this, which is bunched up Hytrix and Formula together. We have 4 laps left. We're in the second sector now. Of what a biblical season this has been. What a biblical send-off. A record DNFs. Obviously with everyone else, like the previous race, you know, it would have been nice to see the full thing. But unfortunately these things do happen, so we're just going to have to stay put with half a race. I definitely think this has been the most biblical race of the season. It is safe to say. But anyway, Formula, he is getting close to Hytrix. Is he perhaps even thinking about making a double move? As they're going to go 3 wide into turn 1. Look at that. Who comes out in first? Grimes in first. Well, Grimes second, but in front of the Alfa Romeo and the Red Bull. Formula looking to come back. Grimes goes defensive on the inside. Making a move around the outside. Does go wide. Unable to do that. I would love for there to be no more DNFs this race. At least we're getting some racing towards the later stages of this race. Let's just watch Hytrix's POV here. Formula going at the inside of Grimes. Has a better exit. But Grimes will hold the inside line. Many switchbacks here as they make contact. Formula think it's bumper cars. Grimes slowing down big time. This is naughty from Grimes. Grimes, you will be receiving a penalty for that. I will let you know. I know you're having fun, but the rules are rules still. Formula is in second as we are going to get started on our 17th lap of this race. Hytrix coming into the pits. Grimes in third. He's now having some fun racing with Formula. This is for the second place. This is for second place of the race. Meanwhile, up front, Alfie is having the time of his life. He is clear. He has 2 laps left. I can't believe this. I cannot believe this. Formula and Grimes are really having some fun racing now. I'm enjoying this. We're just going to watch this until pretty much the end. Formula still holding it down in second. You see Alfie in front there. Grimes going for a late lunge on Formula. They make a bit of contact. I think this has just become more of a demolition derby. Grimes making sense non-stop as Grimes has nearly lost the back end. He did get spun a little bit by Formula there. These guys going toe to toe, wheel to wheel. I think that will do it unless Grimes can pull out an absolute monster ending. But we are approaching the last lap of this race. The last lap of the LBL. The final lap that will be taken. And who better to do it? Who better to lead the last ever lap of the LBL than our darling, our sweetheart, Alfie. Grimes with a 3-second time penalty as well. Honestly, I'd just like to take the time to say this season, you know, it's had its up and down, but it has truly been what I wanted it to be. It has been biblical. I've absolutely loved every second of it. Apart from all the whinging and all the submissions, that bit can clear off. But I'm sure Michael Massey didn't enjoy that side of things either, did he? I want to use this as a way to just say thank you for all the support during this season. Thank you to everybody who's come by. Thank you to everybody who's watched the video. Remember, you won't be able to watch it next week because that's it. But from F1 22, if you do want to come watch this live, twitch.tv/LittleLad. It'll be a lot more official. But anyway, this is the final checkered flag of the LBL season. And Alfie is going to come across the line and win his first ever race. Formula finishes second. Grimes, he's doing some donuts. What a way to send off this season. Yeah, get the donuts in. Absolutely beautiful stuff. Send this season off. And Hytrix will come across the line and take third. Grimes doesn't care anymore. He's having fun. Alfie is a race winner. Wow. Send off the LBL with those donuts. Yes, sir. Absolutely love it. And Danny is going to finish 5th. And that is that. That is that. Wow. Grimes with driver of the day. I think he deserves driver of the day with those donuts. Biblical scenes. The final race of the LBL has a house stood on the top step of the podium. And it is Alfie. Our darling. What a story. What a story. The ending of the LBL sees our darling on the top step of the podium. He gets his race win. He gets his podium. Hytrix gets another podium as well. He's been here for 4 races. Already had 2 podiums. We'll love to see him back next season. Formula, he's not been here that long either. Finishing in 2nd. Grimes, beautiful donuts, comes in 4th. Further down the order, all the DNFs. Danny 5th, Jack 6th, Delirious and Bames, they had a bit of carnage in 7th and 8th. They both DNF'd together. JD came back, raced about 5 laps, DNF'd. Jason, Redemption Man, didn't quite get his redemption. Scott was looking on for the race win, but the contact with Grimes, he DNF'd. I would just like to take the time and say thank you so much, honestly. Thank you so much for the most biblical league that has ever been created, has ever graced an F1 track. To all of the lads who raced, thank you all so much for being here. I wouldn't have been able to do this with you. All the people watching it, supporting on the channel, everybody who has been here, thank you all so much for this. Honestly, it means so much. We will be back, not next week. We will be back next month for F1 22 with the LBL. We will be back with the LGUL. We will be back with the LSHL. And I think most importantly, my favourite one, we will be back with the LDDL. But until then, congratulations to all the boys. Danny is your LBL champion. Alpine take the constructors. Alfie takes the final race of the season. What an ending. What a biblical ending. Thank you all so much for watching. And peace. Also, P.S. Grimes washed. One more thing. Viva la LBL!